Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I'm not here with Geeky Sparkles. I'm going to do a video that I was going to talk about this topic in yesterday's live stream. Got cut short because I had to go check on our dog. Something was going on with our dog. Dog's fine, by the way, so thank you very much. But yeah, I only streamed for about 45 minutes. I'm like, yeah, I got to go. So we're going to talk about Elon Musk and Wikipedia and Grokipedia. And the wokeness of Wikipedia. Apparently, Elon Musk is working on a competitor for Wikipedia. Actually, it's not hard to compete with Wikipedia because anybody can create a wiki, right? It's just that Wikipedia became the default. And yeah, everybody knows Wikipedia is incredibly woke, including the co-founders of Wikipedia. They know it's gone completely off the rails. And it's just like any other platform, I'm going to be honest. When you've got a free platform like Wikipedia or Reddit, or Tumblr, or whatever it is, it attracts a certain audience that doesn't want to pay for anything, but also wants to appear like they have some power. They get off on having power, and this is why you get a lot of volunteers, as community managers, and it just then they wind up filtering out into the industries with their activism and all that. It's kind of my unified theory of everything. You get what you pay for. And, I think in a case of, like Wikipedia, because it was open to anybody and people that had a lot of free time and didn't want to spend money on anything, they didn't want to host their own website, they just wanted to police other people's speech, well, they were naturally attracted to Wikipedia. And just like Reddit, Wikipedia started out with the best of intentions, and then it turned into a cesspool because they let more and more of these people in, and they didn't sit on them because all they cared about was engagement. They cared about the traffic numbers per month. And Wikipedia, God, they've become PBS. Every time you go Wikipedia, not only is the information often inaccurate, but they're constantly begging for money. Oh, speaking of which, go out to news.clownfishtv.com. That's news.clownfishtv.com. Help support the channel. $5 a month. You get paywalled content. We're going to be working on a lot more of that. We're going to have exclusive episodes and podcasts over there, but we also shoot out email notifications when we post new videos. So sometimes it's a little bit later. It depends on when we get around to posting over there, but this way you don't miss anything. So thank you very much. But yeah, this article is from 2021. The National Review, Wikipedia conforms to wokeness. They've been for a while. And, you look at some of the conversations, the talk tab around some pages, and it's just absolutely insane. It really is. It's like going to some Marxist meeting or something, like, comrade, give me the talking stick, or whatever the hell they do. I don't even know what they do over there. Because I'm not a communist, I'm not a Marxist. So there we go. But yeah, it's definitely, anyone who's been paying attention knows that Wikipedia has gone woke, and we know that they had their, who is it? Their CEO or whoever was in charge. She was basically like, sometimes the truth isn't important. And then she wound up working for, I think, PBS or NPR. I don't know. Anyway, Elon Musk is going to create Grokipedia. So I guarantee you all those articles are going to be AI generated. Like, hey, Grok, make me a page on this. The thing is that Grok is, of all the AI I've used, Grok is hands down the best fact checker. I don't think it's a terribly creative app, but it is a very good fact checker. Now, it can only check facts based on what's out there already, but it does a much better job, I believe, of fact checking than ChatGPT does. And if you want the most current information on something, I would highly recommend using Grok for that, because Grok is going to have like up to the minute tweets and stuff like that. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens when they turn Grok into a wiki. So Musk announced it yesterday. He said that XAI is building Grokipedia, an open source digital encyclopedia to rival Wikipedia, which the tech tycoon has repeatedly accused of leftist bias. Yeah, that is very, very true. And I think they've done other articles on it. Let's see here. This is coming from the New York Post. Wikipedia bias influences how one's perception of reality is perceived, coming from August 29th. So that's kind of crazy. This week I had, I'm going to go down on a side tangent here, guys. This week I had 2 separate meetings with people I'd never met. Okay. My Wikipedia entry is not a neutral profile. It's a hit job. This comes from Bethany Mandel. It's curated greatest hits collection of my worst moments, or more precisely, my critics' worst caricatures of me. That actually does happen. People use Wikipedia offensively. And if there's somebody they don't like, they will link to all the worst news about them. So there's a system, and we learned this firsthand how it works, right? You've got some editors or community managers, whatever the hell they call them, wiki people over there that don't like you, or they have friends that don't like you. And a lot of times these people are also involved with different media outlets, or higher education. They all work at the colleges or community managers. They're basically people who like to be online all the time. And they're online all the time. They're terminally online. So what they will do is they will get together with their journo friends. They will write a hit piece about you on a website that has a pretty high ranking or is recognized by Google as being an authoritative site. And then that wiki editor will link that article in your write-up to basically amplify the negativity, right? And this is the problem. You don't have people. The problem with it being a human edited thing is you have humans with all their biases and their grudges in charge of it. And we had a problem with our page for our webcomic back in the day. We could not get it to stick, despite other webcomics that were smaller than us, much smaller than us, having their own pages. And despite the fact that, we worked on Disney comics and all this other stuff, they would not let our page, which is actually run by a fan of ours, stick. They kept taking it down. Well, here it turned out that the editor for the webcomic section had ties to Hiveworks, which didn't like us very much because we would not join their network. So because of that, the person just kept saying, "Oh yeah, they're not notable enough. We're going to take them down." But they made sure all the Hiveworks comics were up, right? And eventually, we had to call in a favor from a friend of ours who actually knew a Wikipedia editor and somebody that was pretty well respected in the community who handled comics. And our page went protected for a while. Nobody could make any changes to it, and they cited media outlets and all that stuff. And that took care of that. But yeah, we saw firsthand, like personal, and this was like 15 years ago. And we saw firsthand how personal bias can get you booted out of Wikipedia, or they're going to, again, run a hit job on your page. So anyway, going back to this article on Elon Musk, I know I always take these detours, but that's why you listen to us. The Tesla founder boasted that the new encyclopedia named after Grok will be a massive improvement over Wikipedia. Join XAI and help build Grokipedia, an open source knowledge repository that is vastly better than Wikipedia. It'll be available to the public with no limits on use. Wikipedia did not respond to the post request for comment. Musk's attack on Wokepedia are nothing new. In 2023, he offered to buy the platform for $1 billion on the condition it changed its name to Dickipedia. That's awesome. Get fucked on Dickipedia. Yeah, then the thing is that, look, people on one side of the aisle fundamentally understand how information is disseminated, not to, because we're calling it Dickipedia, but they understand how information is disseminated and how it works, how the internet works better than people on the right do, say for Elon Musk, who used to be on the left. Wikipedia is one of the most authoritative sites on the internet, and Google is going to pull from it, and even Google's AI snippets are going to pull from it. Same with Reddit. So these people know if they go to Wikipedia, they go to Reddit, and they bend reality over there, that Google is going to pick that up, and then people are going to just take it as fact, because that's the source, right? That's the source of all of this information. So you go to the source and you rewrite history over there, or you smear people over there, everybody's going to think it's true, because people don't understand that Wikipedia is not exactly fact-checked as rigorously as it should be, and anybody can make changes to it. Anybody can astroturf it. Anybody can use it to go after their political adversaries, or just people they don't like. Like I said, in our case, had nothing to do with politics. It was people that wanted us to join their network. We refused. We weren't mean about it, but we refused, and we found out that they were trying to tank us for years. And because we didn't join, they made sure our page didn't get posted in Wikipedia. I mean, petty bitch stuff like that. He said last year he blasted the site as broken after Wikipedia created a page called Donald Trump and Fascism that covers significant academic and political debate over whether Donald Trump can be considered a fascist. Meanwhile, Wikipedia faced fresh attacks online this week after the site's co-founder, Larry Sanger, who has repeatedly slammed Wikipedia as propaganda, appeared on Tucker Carlson's podcast and issued fresh criticism of the digital encyclopedia. Sanger, who left Wikipedia in 2002, a year after launching the site, accused it of censorship and of targeting conservatives and libertarians. Yeah, most of these sites used to be very libertarian. And again, I'm an old school liberal. I'm definitely a libertarian, libertarian leaning. And I remember the old internet, and I remember it being a bastion of free speech, but also we had accountability. We, policed each other. And most of the people who used the internet back then, or were heavy internet users, were part of the tech industry adjacent to it. I was actually working as a web developer at the time. I was always on Reddit. I was always on Wikipedia. And then I noticed the change too. I'm like, yeah, things are getting weird. Things are getting very weird. We're getting people in here who are not here to offer up objective information. We're getting people who are here to rewrite history and to use these websites that were typically, for lack of a better term, tech bro hangouts, to use them to attack people they didn't like. And then the whole culture changed. Reddit especially. Reddit just went batshit. I mean, I was an early gold member. I think I named a couple of servers, and I don't even recognize the place now. So crazy. So crazy. I said there's a whole army of administrators, hundreds of them, who are constantly blocking people that they have ideological disagreements with. Yeah, see also every other free social media platform. Sanger said he was unaware if there were puppet masters that were controlling the process. Yes, there are. He nodded to Virgil Griffith, a former Ethereum programmer jailed for conspiring to assist North Korea in evading sanctions, who created a tool known as Wikiscanner that revealed CIA computers had been used to make edits on Wikipedia pages in the early 2000s. That does not surprise me at all. It's either the CIA or the FBI. I don't remember off the top of my head, but they actually set up a fake Star Wars fan site, and we covered that. It turned out that one of the Star Wars sites back, I mean, it wasn't a huge site, but it was actually like a psyop, and they were sending covert messages to each other. It was wild. They were able to find a whole bunch of edits coming from Langley. Yeah, so this whole thing is like, it's definitely biased. The only thing I worry about is, again, you have Grokipedia. If Grok is running it, Grok can be compromised as well. That's, and I am concerned too, because because it looks like it's Elon Musk and Larry Ellison who are going to be running everything now. And that concerns me. I mean, I guess it could be worse, but anytime you can, the allure of Wikipedia was that it wasn't consolidated. The power wasn't consolidated. And if we have Musk and Ellison running all this stuff, I have concerns about that as well. But the flip side is, again, if you leave it open to everybody, you're going to get activists who are going to come in. And I think a lot of it is just time. I think people who are more conservative leaning are not concerning themselves with, being a Wikipedia admin or a heavy Wikipedia user, right? They're out working their jobs or whatever. And this is why I think the right loses so much. I was grousing about it on Twitter because I'm still pissed off a little bit about the Netflix cartoon thing. They're having and that's an Elon Musk thing too. He's leading a boycott against Netflix for gay stuff in cartoons that have been canceled for years. And I'm like, nobody was paying attention, right? Like, you weren't paying attention. We've been talking about it for a long time. Like, it's very weird that, they have drag queens on Blue's Clues, but, it was like years ago. And same with Dead End Paranormal Park. Now as conservatives are like, oh my God, there's gay stuff in the Netflix cartoons. I'm like, bitch, where have you been? Yeah, this has been going on for years. These shows are already done. And whatever, grooming you think these cartoons were doing with your kids, it's already been done. Those kids that were watching those shows, they're in high school and college now. Like you're really slowing the uptake. So that kind of bothers me too, because I'm like, everybody wants to change this or change that, and I guess it's fine that you're paying attention now, but the damage has already been done, right? I'm not saying don't do anything when it comes to Wikipedia, but the damage has been done. Something needed to be done about Wikipedia and these crazy ass activists that took over Wikipedia like 10 years ago when so what happened was, I think a lot of times normies just know about, or, the OG fans or whatever know about. And maybe that is the lesson to be learned from all of this, is that when you have these activists come into a space, whether it's, Wikipedia or, animation or comics or whatever it is, the tabletop games, whatever, a lot of times people just kind of throw their hands up in the air and say, well, that's it. I'm leaving. I'm quitting. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to be part of the comic book industry anymore. I'm not going to do this anymore, that anymore. And then what happens is you get out of your seat, and then you get like 3 more activists take your seat. So maybe the reason that things are as bad as they are now is that normal people have ceded ground for years. And it's going to be very, very hard to kind of reclaim that, right? You basically just handed these platforms over to crazy ass activists because there wasn't any pushback. I don't know, just a thought, something I've been thinking a lot about lately. I'm like, how did we get to this point? Like, everybody saw it coming. I'm like, well, a lot of people just walked away. They're like, yeah, I'm not going to do this anymore. So then you just had, the infection just got worse because there's no antibiotic there. There's no pushback. And if we push back sooner, maybe things wouldn't have gotten as crazy as they have. I don't know, guys. Just something to think about. Gonna wrap it up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later. For more pop culture news, views, and rants, go to news.clownfishtv.com. That's news.clownfishtv.com.